morning, and welcome to our Friday episode of Coffee with a Kick. I don't plan on starting each episode now with a different rendition of our name in musical format because I don't think anybody wants to listen to me sing. That's my personal opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Today we have the midweek action. Oh, I guess I should mention that due to technical difficulties, our Tuesday episode was unable to be sent out. We had something I threw together for that instead, where we put out our Champions League picks in writing. So the picks that we go over today are official picks that we did make during an episode that no longer exists. So I'm sure you're all keeping track at home. I'm sure you're all liking and subscribing and ringing the bell on YouTube, following us on X and on Facebook, and blah, 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 blah. All of those cool things that people do for
the kids
media.
do nowadays.
All those kids
all do.
Except we don't do TikTok. So, not everything the kids do these days. Not everything. Just most things. But why don't we go ahead and, as I say way too frequently, hop right into the action that was Midweek Champions League. We had everybody go off because obviously they all went off. Some surprising results, some boring results, some exciting results. And we will hit them all right now. First off, we both struck out on this AC Milan-Newcastle match. Mainly because somehow Newcastle kept AC Milan from scoring, even though AC Milan dominated the match. It was, I guess, impressive that Newcastle was inept on the offensive end, but stalwart enough on defense to keep AC out. I feel like it was more just a fluke of luck than anything else. But they managed to get a very important point away at Milan. Really wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It felt like a game where Newcastle was always on the back foot. They couldn't really get anything going offensively, but Dan Burn defensively, I mean, what a guy. Dan Burn. I don't really know what he did in the match, but he was playing. And when Dan Burn plays, your defense is going to be stout. But no, seriously, I think that defensively they played fine. It seemed like AC Milan never got comfortable either. So it seemed like two okay teams playing each other. Just kind of neither team really stuck out as like this team's amazing, fluke result. Obviously, AC was the better side, but didn't feel like either team stood out for me.
Yeah, Milan didn't really try to go out and grab it. They were missing a little bit of that last third. I mean, Newcastle's last third was non-existent. I don't know if they had a shot on goal the whole match. I could check that very easily. In fact, I'm doing it right now. But if they did, it was few and far between.
One.
They had one. Okay, so I was not far off on my recollection there that it felt like they were never in the attacking third because they weren't. Now we'll move on to the other early match from Tuesday. Young Boys did indeed fall to RB Leipzig. We both had that one correct. Neither of us got the score correct. We thought it was going to be a bigger blowout than it was. It's fine. Let me get back to where I was. Yeah. I didn't watch this one, so RB Leipzig, they played as well as we thought they would. So we'll go on to the older matches, later matches in the afternoon. The Group E action of Feyenoord hosting Celtic and Lazio hosting Atletico Madrid. Feyenoord got the 3. They did better than we thought they would. We both thought it was going to be a draw. Celtic getting that all-important away point. But Feyenoord held home serve 2-0. Yeah. Good result for them. And Lazio managed to keep Atletico within striking distance and got the home point against a better side. It was impressive on their end, keeping Atletico from pulling away there.
Lazio's goal, a header from their goalkeeper to get the point.
Yeah.
95th minute header from the goalie. It was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, very exciting last couple minutes there to finish that up. And then for the other half of the Group F action, PSG took care of business at, I don't remember what their name of their stadium is. Something about Paris. Prince de Parc? Parc de Prince. Parc de Prince, not Prince de Parc. Parc de Prince took care of business. We both had that one correct. Well, actually, you had it as Dortmund drawing 2-2. So yeah. I had that one correct. I had 3-2. But Dortmund didn't get the offensive ball rolling at all. They got blanked 2-0 against PSG at Parc de Prince. And then for the other portion of the Group G action, crvenazvezda gave City a run for their money there in the first half. I mean, should it have been like 4 or so goals there in the first half for City? Yeah. Did crvenazvezda get really lucky on their breakaway goal? Yeah. I mean, it was a perfectly timed run, and he was well on sides. But City came out in the second half, scored, I think it was the 46th minute, like right after they came out, scored almost immediately. And then they were kind of on cruise control. They got their second goal, got their third goal, had options to get 4 or 5. But once again, Erling Haaland is not getting those touches that he did last season. He's not getting those perfect first touch, second touch shot on goal. I mean, he's still getting shots on goal, but they aren't as high quality as they were last season, which is strange. And I think the stat was that he is now goalless in his last 7 Champions League matches. Is that right? I think that's it.
Maybe. I don't know. He struggled from quarterfinals on last year, so that could be true. I don't know. This was a game that could have easily been 12-1, but I give credit to the Red Stars goalie. He had some really great saves. The Bar also had some great saves too, but they got the 3 points. That's all I care about.
They were able to pack up, go home. I mean, they were pretty banged up too, City. They didn't even have a full team sheet to go in. Grealish had picked up a knock in the offseason. I think that Pep was playing this one a little bit safe at home against a side that 99 times out of 100 are going to beat them, even with your B squad. I think that he was playing this one a little bit safe. Put in, what's the new guy's name? Eki? Is that his name?
Ake?
Ake. No. The guy who you just signed, the winger. Put him in late. Yeah, Doku. Doku was a nice spark off the bench there in the second half and kind of pulled things even further off. Alvarez still playing very well. But that's enough about City. Going on to the next set of matches there for Group H action. Barcelona took care of Antwerp 5-0. We both got that one correct. We both thought that Antwerp might get a goal. Did not happen. And then Shakhtar Donetsk falls to FC Porto 3-1. You thought that Shakhtar was going to win 3-0. Did not turn out that way. I had that one correct. Not perfect score. I had it 1-2 for Porto. But they took care of business there in Ukraine. I believe I may have said that Shakhtar Donetsk was in Turkey before. I can't remember. That may have been in the show.
I corrected you. It
may have been in the episode that is now dead, so I'm glad it's gone. But they are the Ukrainian side, the Ukrainian champions.
I still think they're going to win the group. This was a fluke game. They got caught on the wrong night.
That's right. Yeah. What's his name? Zelensky was in the United States. That was the problem. He was speaking to the UN, so that's why they didn't have their leader there.
Good luck charm.
Yeah, didn't have their good luck charm there. Speaking of Turkey, Galatasaray and Copenhagen. Copenhagen steals a point. Did not see that coming. We both had Galatasaray winning, considering it was away at Galatasaray in Turkey, and Copenhagen is not close to there. But it's a good result for Copenhagen. They're in Group A. Group C, Real Madrid versus Union Berlin. this was a thrilling match, a thrilling 1-0 match. It doesn't seem like it from the scoreline, but it was really back and forth. Union Berlin, unlucky to not come out of there with a point. Real Madrid didn't score until I believe it was like the 90 plus 2?
94.
Right? 90 plus 4, yeah. And, Real Madrid was the better side, but, Union is how you're supposed to say it because it's German. Their fans are something else. I think that they're going to be tough to get a full 3 from when they're in Berlin. But their fans were raucous the whole match long, and they showed out better than I thought they. Well, did they show out better than I thought they would? Did I have them moving on? Where's that page? I can't remember.
I think you had them moving on.
I think I did. Where'd it go? Got too many pages. There it is. Yes, I have them moving on. So I'm actually feeling pretty good about that pick. Now, did I think that we'll, whatever. Lose that train of thought. Move on to the next. Second half of the Group A action. Bayern versus Man U. This scoreline, also deceptive. 4-3 is not how this game felt. This game felt like Bayern was just leaps and bounds better than Manchester United. And they showed it most of the time. They really let the foot off the gas in the second half. Man U kept, to their credit, they kept pushing, they kept getting closer, but every time they got closer, Bayern put the pedal back down, went down and would score in quick response. 4-3 does not do Bayern justice in this one. And I think they'll be kicking themselves. I mean, I don't know that goal difference is going to come into it, but if it does, they will look back at this match and really kick themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, it's Bayern Munich, so I think they'll be fine, but
probably.
You're right, they did not impress me in the second half. You're letting Casemiro get a brace in a matter of 7 minutes. I don't know what that tells me about your team, but this is one of those results. It's okay to get in the group stage, but this would happen later on. It would be concerning.
Yeah, when that aggregate starts getting real tight, you want to make sure that you're sealing as many goals on your home soil as you can. Then moving over to the Group B matches, Sevilla hosts Lens, Arsenal hosts PSV. Arsenal taking care of business, man. PSV loses 4-0. We both had that one correct. Backing up to the other two, we both had Bayern winning, so got that one right. Both had Real winning, both got that right. And then I already said that we both missed Galatasaray. So, we both... Oh, actually, good thing I looked. You had PSV getting a point out of this. Not today, sir. Not today.
Again, off night for PSV. Arsenal got lucky. 4 goals. It just... sometimes they roll in, and that's okay. PSV will come back.
Sometimes you get lucky 4 times in a row. But
PSV,
Sevilla...
They did play a good game, though, for PSV.
For PSV, they played a good game. And then Sevilla draws Lens, oddly enough. I think there was some late drama. No, that was the Braga match that I'm thinking of. This was a pretty boring match because both the goals happened in the first 25 minutes, and then nothing happened the rest of the time. So that was a rather snoozy sort of match at Sevilla. Not a great one. Then to the second half of the Group C action, this was the late drama. Braga and Napoli. Yes. Braga gets a late equalizer there in the 84th minute. They get an equalizer. Bruma for Braga against Napoli. Think they're going to steal a point from Napoli, and then horror upon horrors. An own goal in the 88th minute. I didn't talk about that. That'll deflate any team giving up an own goal, especially when you're about to steal a point. Well, steal a point. You're at home. You should try to get a point, but against a better side, that is Napoli.
Yeah. I did not see the own goal, so you may have more to say about that. But I did watch the first half of this game, and it did feel like first half Napoli was the better side, but I feel like Braga played a little better in the little bits of the second half I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they even had more possession, which is shocking to me, but that could be because they're at home. Who knows? But yeah, own goal to lose a game, not great.
Not great. It's another one of those underdogs who was unlucky to come away without a point. Braga and who was the other one? It was on day one. I can't remember. My own notes failing me here. But we will move on to the Group D. Real Sociedad and Inter, and then Benfica and Salzburg. RB Salzburg. Real Sociedad and Inter drew, which you had 100% correct. You had that as a 1-1 draw, and it was indeed a 1-1 draw. Oh, I want to back up a little bit. Your Sevilla and Linz, you also got exactly correct. We both got that correct. I said 2-2. You said 1-1. So that's you got another little star there. And we both... Oh, I said Braga was going to draw Napoli, which I was almost correct.
You were almost right.
Almost correct. But you got it with the Napoli victory. And then for this, I thought that Inter would take care of Real Sociedad, but it ended up being a draw. And then we both got this wrong. We both thought that Benfica would be able to beat the Salzburgians, the Swiss, right? Are they Swiss?
Salzburg? No, I think that they are from Austria.
Oh, that's right, Austria. Austrian side. Swiss's young boys. Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly. Whatever. Don't quote me on that. We both got that wrong. We both thought that Benfica would take care of Salzburg. Did not happen. Salzburg getting 3 away points on a 2-0 victory there. Very good result for them. And
that 13th minute red card.
That'll definitely...
I don't think it deflated Benfica, but definitely changed the game.
Yeah, and it's definitely putting... I mean, I had... When I was making my picks here, I had Salzburg over Benfica and then changed it to put Benfica over Salzburg. So that match, that group will be one to watch for sure going forward. All in all, on the day, not too shabby. 9-7 for myself, 8-8 for you. But you also had 2 exactly correct picks. I did not have any on this one. But that is...
So really, I'm 16-0.
That's essentially what it is. I mean, you're 16-0. Essentially, you got everything correct. But yeah, that is the week that was in Champions League action. We will come back for the some additional fixtures. Not next week, but in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we'll be back for some more action. Now, we will move over to changing gears to our EPL picks for this week. We have a slate of some games, some really nice ones on the docket here. Looking forward to that Arsenal-Tottenham match that we'll get to here in a moment. That both those sides look pretty good. But we'll go ahead and start with everything's packed in on Saturday and Sunday this week, probably because of Champions League stuff. But I don't know. I don't know why they make all these decisions. For the 10 a.m. matches, we will start with Crystal Palace hosting Fulham at Selhurst Park in London. What you got here for this one?
I mean, I think this will be a sneaky good game because this is 9 and 10 on the table. Mm-hmm. I think because it's at Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace will steal it 3-1.
Really?
I think Crystal Palace has, similar to what I've said previously, it seems like they have a better attacking style. Their flow is pretty good. Their defense, I'm still depends on the week. But their attack is definitely, it's got a good flow to it. Those guys have been playing for a couple of years. Fulham, they sold Mitrovic, and ever since then, I've been kind of out on them. They did get a win last week, but I don't think they can replicate 2 wins in a row.
But it was Lutontown. I mean, it was Lutontown. And it was not a pretty 1-0. It was dull. I have this as a 1-1 draw. I mean, I don't believe in Fulham at all, but Crystal is very hit or miss. They gave up 2 goals to my Wolves, so that doesn't speak very well, as you were saying, for your defense. They're on they're they just got beat by Villa pretty handily, 3-1. We'll see how they do. I've got it 1-1 just because you never know. Although we do make a pick.
You never know.
But let's get on to the real match of the weekend. Everyone's looking forward to it. You know who it is. It's Luton Town versus my Wolves. Why is everyone looking forward to it? Well, it's because my Wolves have a chance at 3 points. That's the only reason. That's really the only reason. Is this? No, it's not the first one. Luton has already hosted West Ham once. So I was just checking to make sure because I know they missed their first opportunity to host because of that press box. I'll try to mention that in every episode for no reason at all. I've got my Wolves pulling it out 2-1. I think that Neto, right? That's his name. Neto comes through for us.
Neto.
Yeah, Neto comes through for us. Maybe get another connection between him and Hwang. This time. Oh my goodness! I should really learn all my players' names. Cunha. Maybe this time Cunha actually comes through and converts on a good service by Neto. And our goalkeeper's been playing very well. So him giving up 1 goal is probably doing a disservice to him, considering it's Luton Town. But I'll give them some credit.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-0 Wolverhampton.
Boy.
I think Hwang gets a hat trick and Neto nets a left foot curler from outside the box. The more I watch Luton Town, the more I think if they get relegated, the EPL may just drop them straight to League One just for them to have the similar competition.
Yeah.
They might be a team that ends with single-digit points in the season. They're pretty bad. So, yeah, I think 4-0, Wolves will kill it handily. I don't see Luton even putting up a fight.
I would very much like that. I don't have that much trust in the Wolves, but we'll see. And then, what could be this is a trap game. I'm going to call this as a trap game here for City. City versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, you can't take lightly this season. You can't take lightly. I know it's at the Etihad, and I do have them winning, but I have them only winning 3-2. So.
Yeah, they oftentimes, if a team has a big, strong striker, similar to West Ham, sometimes our defenders can struggle, but it all depends on how often the other team can get the ball. And as we saw with West Ham, they didn't get it a lot.
Right.
So, I don't know. This will be a game where if we give up a lot of corners or free kicks in the final third, I could see them getting a goal. I don't see that happening a lot. I'm going to go 4-1. I think in midweek we rested a lot of guys. Like some of our injuries, I think we just held out just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't see it. I think Holland scores a brace. Alvarez gets another goal because he's got a hot streak. Fourth goal, mystery. Who knows? But, yeah, I think it'll be 4-1.
4-1 to City. All right, and then to the 12:30 match, Brentford at the G-Tech Community Stadium hosting Everton. So Everton's bad. I don't know if you know this. They've scored in 1 match so far this season. They have 2 goals, and it was against Sheffield United. So I have them getting swept out of town 2-0 for Brentford. And it could be worse than that. I don't trust Everton at all to do anything productive.
I have it the exact opposite, 2-0 Everton win.
Whoa.
I think Everton showed me at Arsenal. When they played Arsenal, they showed me that they can compete. Arsenal played well that game, and I think Everton figures it out a little bit in this game, and they win 2-0.
We'll see. I think that Brentford has a little bit of a bounce back after that Newcastle match where they just kind of got stymied. Because those bees have been buzzing so far this season, and we'll see if they can get back to it. And here we are coming to the late game, 3 p.m. start time, Eastern time, for Burnley and Man U. And let me tell you, if Man U doesn't... I've got them drawing 1-1, and I don't even know if that's enough of a result for Man U to right the ship.
Yeah, I have a 2-1 Burnley win.
Woof.
It's at Turf Moor, and I don't know. I think Burnley just
They're
they don't
starting
have
to
anything
figure
to
it out.
lose.
They're
And
starting to
Man
figure it out,
U,
maybe.
yeah, and Man U they're just really bad. Like they don't know anything about soccer. It seems like Bruno Fernandes was the great signing 2 years ago, and now where is he? What is he doing? I don't know. I think this will be the game that they lose 2-1, and Ten Hag gets the boot after.
I mean, going down 2-1 to Burnley, even if it is an away match, after getting manhandled during the midweek at Bayern Munich and dropping your first match, and I think it was 20 plus matches last week against Brighton, and really you got manhandled in that one as well. Brighton looked a lot better than they did. You could see it happening. You could for sure see it happening and have our first manager turnover of the season. But that finishes up Saturday. Going over to Sunday with the odd start times at 9 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. For the quote-unquote late match. At 9, we've got I don't know why this is slotted at 9. This should be a good match. Arsenal and Spurs at Emirates Stadium. I think this should be a really good match. I've got it as a 2-3 victory for Spurs because I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping in mind my predictions from the start of the season, where I think I have Tottenham finishing in second, and Arsenal in fourth. So I'm trying to get them the points here. But I think this one could be really exciting.
Yeah, I have 4-2 Tottenham. I think this will be Arsenal's first loss of the season because they haven't really convinced me, and they have a couple good games, but I think Tottenham takes it to them. They've been playing well. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
For sure. And then another 9 a.m. start time. Brighton hosting Bournemouth at the Amex. We'll start with you this time. What do you got there for Brighton and Bournemouth? Do you think Brighton keeps rolling?
Well, if anyone is excited for Halloween, this is one of those like preview commercials that comes out about some sort of movie where people get slaughtered.
Oh boy.
I think this will be a 6-1 drubbing of Bournemouth. Brighton is just, they can score. Mm-hmm. They're really fun to watch, and I just think that people are going to watch this and say, okay, I'm ready for Halloween.
Yeah, I've got it not quite as drastic. I got it 3-1 Bournemouth because if there's a score line and it's from Brighton, it's probably 3-1. I mean, their past 3 matches have all been they beat United 3-1, they beat Newcastle 3-1, they lost 3-1 to West Ham. Typically, there's only one goal scored by the losing side because they beat my Wolves 4-1 prior to that, and Luton was defeated 4-1 as well. So I don't know what it is about them, but it's something to 1 most of the time. And currently, they're on the trend of 3-1. Maybe they start going down to 2-1. Maybe they go up to 5-1. Who knows? 6-1. There we go. 6-1. But we'll keep that rolling. And then Chelsea and Villa at Stamford Bridge, also at 9 a.m. Chelsea, another blue bud that is struggling. And I don't know if it gets better here. I've got them kind of with the same vibe that you're going with United. I've got them losing 4-1 to Villa.
Wow. I have it 1-0. I think
for Chelsea,
Aston Villa winning.
I
think Chelsea's defense has been fine. Mm-hmm. It's just been after their defense, they really don't know how to kick the soccer ball well. Or football, as everyone else in the world says. So I don't know. I think that
Japan calls it soccer.
Oh, and Australia does too. So
there we go.
We have allies.
Mainly because they have way too many types of football already. They got American football, Aussie rules football, Tasmanian football. Sure.
Tasmanian. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll create a whole nother podcast for that kind of thing. But
I am not going to commit to that at all.
I think Chelsea's defense is fine, but I think their offense just can't convert. So I'm going Aston Villa 1-0 win.
Still not a good result, and Chelsea will be. I mean, as crazy to say, in relegation talks, so they're 14th right now on 5 points only. I think the saving grace for a lot of these underperforming sides right now is that there are two teams that are like definitively not Premier League material. We'll get to one here in a second. Lutontown is the other. So really, it's just a fight for 18th. So far this season, that's what it seems like. We'll get over to another very interesting match: Liverpool and West Ham. West Ham's a side that can either show up or not. You know, I think that they are a little bit unreliable. Liverpool, they're riding high. I mean, they are on. They've won every match since they played Chelsea in the first one of the season, so they're pretty good. I've got it as a 2-2 draw at the Liverpool Stadium there at Anfield for these two. I think West Ham, you know, they can catch you and get a point away.
Yeah, I think this is 3-2, mainly because Liverpool is not as possession-minded as they used to be. And the only reason West Ham didn't win at City is because we held so much possession. Right. I feel like they played really well.
So is that a 3-2 victory for West Ham?
Yes, 3-2 victory. And I know that, you know, on the last game you said there's another team that's definitively relegated. I know you were talking about Liverpool. So I have been losing here.
That's right.
No, I think they're going to score, but I just think West Ham gets a few more chances and converts them.
Yes. Well, on to the other team that I was referencing, Sheffield United and Newcastle. Newcastle catching Sheffield United right where they want them after you know, managed to get a point there, managed to get a win last week. I think this is a welcome sigh of relief. However, I think this one's a snoozer, a 0-0 draw between Newcastle and Sheffield.
Yeah, we're going to be in the same boat here. I had the same scoreline.
Wow.
And I think that it goes 0-0, and the shocking news will be that Newcastle's manager gets let go. If they 0-0 draw Sheffield. I
mean, a 0-0 draw at Sheffield, yeah, I mean, guys, that's gross. That's really gross. I forgot to mention something earlier, but I'll cover it here in a second. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the weekend action. The teams that went over to Europe or had Champions League action will be glad to have a full week of rest between matches here before getting back into Champions League action in the first week of October there. But yeah, we'll see how this weekend shakes out. A few good matches on the docket. Unfortunately, a couple of them occur simultaneously, so won't be able to watch them live. But you know, you can. Well, they always put the scores up in the top corner, so it's hard to not go into another match and not know what's going on. But the one thing that I did want to mention, I will stop picking up my pad of paper because I keep picking up and putting it down. One thing that I wanted to mention and why I'm kind of high on Nottingham Forest is, did you see that a bit of their stadium fair went viral on X? Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
They debuted, or maybe they've had it for a while, and it just kind of got put up as a pizza hot dog, or a hot dog pizza. It is essentially like like a French bread pizza. It's kind of like that shape, but a flatbread, and it's just got a hot dog, a nice long hot dog. Hopefully, like an all beef Frank, just sitting there on top of that. And I gotta say, it looked pretty good. Looked pretty good to me.
It just sounds disgusting. But they have some interesting stuff over there in England anyway, so it doesn't shock me.
Well, you know, they mostly survive on fish and chips, is what I've heard. I'm sure that's fish and chips, bangers and mash, and
beans on toast.
Yeah, beans on their toast. Like really weak, watery gravy, I think.
Afternoon tea.
I'm sure that all of the English, the United, well, I won't say the whole United Kingdom. At least Scotland has haggis, I guess, Wales, I couldn't tell you what is a unique culinary item from Wales. Couldn't tell you. What was the other? Oh, yeah, shepherd's pie from England and Yorkshire pudding. There we go. That's about what I know of English cuisine. Anyway, quite a tangent that we went off there. As I go into the Irish section, the one section of the Isles that I did not cover at all.
It had to come out eventually. So.
Had to come out eventually. Anyways, that is what's going to happen this weekend. I'm sure that we'll come down and we'll all be correct, even though we disagreed on several matches. We'll all be exactly correct, and we will be back next week with the wrap up. So until then, grab some coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Das Vidania. I remembered one just in the nick of time. Das Vidania.
Guten Tag.
That's good.